Yo, yo. It's been a minute. Let me see if anybody can hear me. Let's see here. Where are my stats? Oh, there we go. Yo, yo, yo. What is up? This is Josh with American AF Dumpster Rentals. Let's go. What's going on? It's been a minute. I'm using a different mic, so let me know if Easy Bin says loud and clear, which is good. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. If it's too loud, if something sounds kind of funky, let me know. It's been a while since I've screwed up a. This is all backwards. It's been a while since I've screwed up the live stream, so bear with me, and we can screw it up together. But what's up? I literally looked before I jumped on the live a few minutes ago. I looked at the last time I did a live stream on the channel, and it's been damn near a year. I think it was June 25th, 2025, or June 20 something, 2025. That's crazy. It's like just happens to be almost an exact year since. And the lights are flickering up here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we're about to mess some things up. And looks like the power is flickering. So, yeah, like I said, almost an exact year since I've been on a live stream. It's been a while, and it feels good, man. It feels good. I've missed the live streams. Normally, I used to do them at 7, but AI kind of kicked out a schedule for me last week, and it put me at 8. And I was like, you know what? Let's give 8 o'clock a try. So we'll give it a shot. It's been a minute, so I'm rusty. It's been a while since I just sit here and talk to myself for a while. So definitely keep me conversation in the comments because I don't want to sit here and talk to myself. And I definitely want to have conversations with you guys. And if I can join you guys in here somehow, I would. But let's see who's in here bright and early, right at the beginning of the show. Easy at the show, right at the beginning of the live stream. Easy Ben, Texas. What's up, brother? Says yo before I even jumped on the live stream. And then says loud and clear. Holy crap, my eyes aren't as good as they used to be either. It's been a whole year and I can barely see the comments. Elite Dumpsters, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here, brother. Kara Stanton, bro, so good to see you on a live stream. Kara, I went over, it's kind of funny. I literally went over, we don't use this room hardly ever. It's just nobody even comes up here. I don't even know why I built this room. It's like a little movie theater room, game room, and nobody comes up here. I'm the only one that comes up here. But every now and then. It's been a while though. And I came over here. I used to do the live streams in that little corner. Well, yeah, you don't see it, but in that corner over there. And I have like a little shelf behind it. And right before the live stream started, I looked over there and I saw this. So I went over there and grabbed it. I wanted it over here by me. For those of you guys that don't know, yeah, Daniel made me this and sent it over to me. It's a little dumpster card holder for my desk. And when I saw it, I was like, man, first of all, I want this over here by me when I'm doing the live stream tonight. But I also want to take it with me to my office and put it on my desk. So shout out to Daniel, the dumpster helper. Daniel, the dumpster helper. Big shout out there, man. I miss you, brother. But yeah, appreciate you being here, Kara. Easy been here working on some admin stuff and seeing the live stream 5 minutes. I was like, hell yeah. So yeah, I was like, you know what? It's about time. Let's do it. Let's try to go back and do it. It was just so hard at one point, just doing really every single week. But yeah, let's go back. Let's do it at least from here until the show, and then we'll see what happens. Maybe once a month or something like that. because I do miss it. It's a good time to get on here, hang out with you guys, and just talk trash or talk dumpsters or talk business or just talk whatever is on my mind. It's almost like a de-stressor for me too, right? Like just to be able to like talk about the week, talk about what's been going on. We got a lot to talk about, y'all. Can you guys see the lights flickering in the on the live stream, or is it just me? But I don't know why we got a power issue up here. Let's see here. Dino Dumpsters. We got Anthony Dino Dumpsters. What's up, man? Let's go. Back road bound. What's going on? It's been a minute. Yeah, it's been a whole year. Whole year. About to start. I've tried not to cuss on the channel anymore. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not, but there was a comment that was made. I was like, you know what? We do got to kind of stop. Daniel cannot stop for the life of him cussing on screen, and so we try to beep it out. Try to make it family friendly. Because man, I see a lot of people like they'll send me pictures. It's crazy. They'll send me pictures of them or their kids watching it. It's insane to even think about it. But like watching a dumpster channel at home on their TV or something like that, and they got their kids with them or something watching my channel. I'm like, man, like Daniel, like we gotta stop cussing, though, for real. It's just a normal way of speaking for me. Like I don't mean any bad intent by it or something. It's just, I always around military people. I wasn't in the military, but always around military people younger, and I was on the police department, and I think that's where I really learned how to really talk, and I'm probably not the good way. But anyways, so this is what I do. I go on tangents and stuff. That's right. It's been a while, but yeah, I looked online for those of you guys that just joined. I looked a minute right before I jumped on, and it's been a whole year. June 25th, I think it was. 2025 is the last time we did a live stream here together. So I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are back. Glad you guys are taking your time out of your Wednesday to join me on this live stream. So pumped for this event in September. My sister and mom are coming with me. Awesome. It's going to be a good time. And as always, I'm always stressing because I just want to make it as good as possible. I want to make it like, oh my gosh, I just really try to just give everybody who's coming to the show, like what kind of show would I want to go to? What kind of event would I want to go to? And it's not like I'm personally, I don't go to those things. You guys will never catch me usually like hanging out real late, drinking or whatever. And it's not because I'm like one of those stuck up people like just doesn't hang out. No, I go to bed at 9 o'clock. Like I just go to bed early and I wake up super early, and it's not, and I go to these kinds of events, not to party. I go to network. I go to definitely, catch up with those friends. But that doesn't always mean staying up till 2 o'clock, not for me at least. And so I want an event that's going to be a great time. That's going to be beneficial for me personally in my personal life, beneficial for my business for sure, because if I'm taking away my time from my business, then it has to somehow improve it in some way. And so putting this event together again for the 4th year, it's like, first of all, how do we top last year? I don't even know how I'm gonna keep doing it. No, I'm not gonna keep doing it. I think we're gonna we'll keep it at a level playing field for a few years. But how do we top last year? Because last year was awesome. It was incredible. And still give as much value as we possibly can. So just real quick updates, and we'll talk about it. If you guys got any questions, let me know. There's some things I still am holding up my sleeve, and I won't release just yet. And if you follow me on all the platforms, you might see a hint of it. And that's the only preview I'm going to give you of one of our next speakers that we're going to announce. If you follow me on all social platforms, you might see a hint of it somewhere. But we just released Mike Andes is going to be there at the show this year. And that's a guy, man, that's a guy that we can all learn so much from. I mean, we're going to actually do a podcast tomorrow, but we did a Zoom meeting to talk about the show and kind of what the show is all about. And let me tell you, when that guy, talking to him, just seems super down to earth, super chill, very at the end of the day, they're all just like one of us anyways. They put their pants on at one leg at a time. And so, but he doesn't, he's not the arrogant type, and he knows his stuff. The guy is like a walking encyclopedia of business, and I'm excited to have him at the show. So if you guys don't follow him, he just posted today that he's actually moving to Texas. And in the Zoom meeting with me, he did tell me that he is going to be moving to Texas by the time the show comes around. He's going to be living here full time. And so he was even more pumped that, he doesn't have to get on a plane and go travel to do an event like this. And he can just literally, it's going to be in his backyard. So super cool. And like I said, walking encyclopedia of business, and I'm excited to have him. So there's going to be speakers, and there's going to be a breakout room for the VIP members. They're going to be able to go into the breakout sessions, 50 people. It's maxed at 50. So we're going to somehow do some signups and stuff before then, open to VIPs first. But we're going to have all kinds of breakout sessions in the room, not on the stage. This year's going to be a little bit different. The stage is only going to be used mainly for the keynote speakers, like Mike. And I got Bill Faith coming. We can talk about him a little bit later, but awesome dude as well, knows his stuff. And I've got another one, like I said, up my sleeve. But yeah, the stage will be used for those keynote speakers and announcements. And then there's going to be a separate breakout session for the one-on-ones and for the real kind of, and it's going to be air conditioned in the breakout session. That's the other thing that has got me a little concerned is it's going to be hot. So y'all come ready for the heat. But yeah, let's go over some more of these comments real quick. Big names too. July has been fire. Still here crushing it. Coming up on 6 years, man. Congratulations, back road. 6 years is, you're already kind of past that hump, right? They say that like, what do they say? The first, in the first 2 years, like 50 or 60% of businesses end up shutting down, and I mean, by the time they get to the 5-year point, like a lot of more businesses shut down. So to get to 6 years, it's definitely, we know you've been through it. We know it's a struggle. So congratulations on that, man. Miss these so much. Elite, man, appreciate you, brother. Glad you're back. Thank you. I am as well. Love the dumpster. Daniel loved making those on his 3D printer. Yeah, he did. He did. He was always telling me stuff like, this don't look right. And he would send me a picture and it'd be like, the hook is not like perfect, or the sides weren't like perfectly straight, or the little door latch, all these little, I don't know if the camera's actually picking up the detail, but I mean, it literally has a tiny little hook. Again, I don't know if you guys can see it there, but and it's got the little ladders on the side. Some manufacturers want to call those what did I find out? Box Gang says they don't call them ladders because it doesn't make them like ANSI approved or whatever it is. So they use them. They say it's like hook, to hook your hooks on, hook and chains or whatever. Anyways, what else do we got going on? Business. Let's talk about business a little bit. Let's say, I've got a big one for you guys. You guys don't know this. Why not? I'll announce it here. We don't have that many people here in the live stream, so it's not going to go very far probably. But yeah, we've got a big one lately. I am getting into I just had 30 porta potties delivered. Or actually, I picked them up. We carried them. So we are going to start doing porta potties. American AF Site Services. We're going to kind of offer that to our existing client base, mainly because we already have the client base. It's a no-brainer. It's a type of business that, like, the type of ancillary business, or a type of that there's synergy there, right, with our customer base. So I started off with a package deal: 30 porta potties, 5 hand wash stations, and a slide-in unit. And I've got Keystone that is actually building me a flatbed for the slide-in unit, and I'm super stoked about that. Not really super stoked about like learning the actual business. I've been following a guy. There's a guy named Dennis. What's his last name? Daniel Tom on YouTube. I want to say it's Tom. Hope I'm not killing his last name. He's in like California. He's got a dumpster porta potty business, and yeah, his channel is all about porta potties, and he's no entertainment. Not that he's no entertainment, but you know what I'm saying? He doesn't goof around. It's all business. And I love that kind of channel, right? The kind of, just helps show you what works in his business, what doesn't work. But yeah, so we got a 1,000-gallon tank, 750 gallons of wastewater or waste section, and 250 gallons of clean water. Slide in is all one unit. So literally you can just basically, let's say something were to happen in a truck or something like that. I mean, obviously there's like 8 big bolts that hold it down onto whatever flatbed or skid that you have. But yeah, if something were to happen to the truck or something like that, you can literally just take it in a matter of a few hours, take it and put it on another flatbed or something. So yeah, 30 porta potties. There's a place right here at a shop called Porta John, and super convenient to just go over there and pick them up. But it was about a 4-week wait for some porta potties, which was crazy. They originally told me it was only going to be 2 weeks, and it seems like every industry is kind of like that. They like a little bit of over promising and under delivering. But when I finally got my porta potties and I got the tank delivered, it was good quality. So nothing to complain there. Plastic, they're plastic porta potties. And so I got their contractor, their basic. They call them, I think they call them the deluxe, but it's their basic package: porta potty, toilet, urinal, and that's it. Like they cost about, what do they cost? About 700. I think around 700 a piece, $700 to $800 a porta potty. The tank cost me. Again, it's not just a tank. Obviously, it's the entire unit. So the tank comes with its own pony engine. It comes with the hoses and the water hose and the, what did I say? The pump, other stuff as well. But that was about 28 grand. So we did pay a little penny on that. But yeah, we're gonna get it into the shit business. So there goes my cussing. But we're gonna get into the shitty business and we're gonna try it out. And we've got plenty of contractors who we think that we can already sell it to. We've got churches that use us every time there's like special events or 4th of July, just like the other day, beginning of school year, end of school year. They use us for, I've got several big churches that do all the Easter egg hunts and, any kind of holiday or something like that. They always got dumpsters there. They always have a ton of porta potties as well. So those kind of customers, I think will be good for that. We'll be able to kind of, target and try to provide dual services, right? Same thing. Easily throw a couple porta potties in a dumpster and deliver to a job site. One person can do that, and we're already going there, save a trip, and then obviously you got to service them once a week or whatever, twice a week, depending on what they want to pay for. It's a very low profit, low margin industry, from what I've done my research on, and so it's a numbers game. 30 porta potties really ain't shit at the end of the day. You gotta sell a lot more than 30 in order to actually pay the bills and make a decent amount of profit. But it's something. It's a good start. So we'll see. They say you don't start seeing a really reasonable money until, not mean reasonable, it all depends on what your definition of real money is, but you don't start really seeing enough to actually like pay the bills and take some home at the end of the day until you get to like 100 porta potties. So I've been saying that nonstop. I call them dumpsters, but they're not. So, but yeah, that's what we're doing as far as that's concerned. We've got pretty much 3 trucks out full time. We did get a new driver. Rudy's no longer with us. For those of you guys that watch the channel and see that we had hired Rudy. Rudy did not. He didn't leave on bad terms. He left on good terms, but he just didn't kind of work out. So Rudy is no longer with us. He was at the last year's Dumpster Expo. He was brand spanking new at last year's Dumpster Expo, and then he didn't even last to 2 expos. But still good dude. I'll still go over and pay him a visit. He works at a local restaurant, and go pay a visit over there. But we got another new guy. His name is Chris. He's been working for a few months. So far, so good. No worries there. So far, he's been where I need him to be. Good all around. It doesn't really bother me much, honestly. Like some employees, some drivers are kind of super, they kind of call you a lot. Some just handle business and they know what they can do and they know their limitations. And then when you get a phone call, you kind of know. And both Daniel and Chris are like that. Like if I get a phone call, I know something's up. Like there's a reason why they're giving me a call. It's not just because they want to. It's not because it's something that they can probably easily handle on their own. So there's that. I was selling the Mack truck and some dumpsters, and I got plenty of interest in it, but I decided not to sell it since I went to porta potty stuff. I think I'm going to keep the small trucks as they are and not change my dumpster sizes anymore. And I'm going to basically use one of the trucks as a dual purpose, right? Porta potties and dumpsters. So the skid that Keystone is building me is going to be obviously like the flatbed. It's going to have the tank on there, and then it's going to have room on the deck for 2 porta potties, and then it's going to have a drop down, kind of like a ramp, but it's like a fold up ramp or fold up platform, I guess you can call it, um, with taillights on the end of that platform, so that if you fold it up, you're using the factory taillights. And then if you fold it down, you've still got taillights there that will hold 2 more porta potties. So 4 porta potties on the skid. So, um, what else do we got? I've been considering weekly home trash. I get calls almost daily about it. Yeah. So, man, the lawsuit is another thing, but around here, it's just so highly regulated. So for those of you guys that also have been following, we've gotten some really good media coverage on it, but we sued our city. We sued Waxahachie, like literally. A lot of people ask me like, how did I find the attorneys and how much am I paying them and stuff like that. So let's talk about it a little bit. We got to the point where I think obviously the more we grew, or the more that we are growing, and I know Dylan and I have talked about it, and a lot of other guys and we've talked about it, but 2, 3, 4 years ago, when we first started, we didn't have obviously as many dumpsters as we do now. That's one thing. And so our exposure, we're opening ourselves up more and more to these inspectors and these cities to actually see our dumpsters out there. We're getting more bigger contracts. We're at commercial job sites. We're at retail stores. We're at you're starting to see us a lot more and more in towns. And so because we have more dumpsters out there, we're out there a lot more. I think we're getting interactions with these cities a lot more as well. So and I think that's why it started becoming on a weekly basis. So Alexis will call me and be like, hey, so and so city says we need to move our dumpsters or else they're going to impound it. Or so and so customer called and said the city put a stop work order on the job site, so they need our dumpster removed. And it got, like I said, it's got to a point where it's almost on a weekly basis. And I literally have a text message I had to send my attorney, but I had to send them because it was a conversation between Alexis and I, where I said something like, she told me at one of the last times, I'm like, man, I'm getting so sick of this shit. Like, I'm getting so tired of this, because I was just super frustrated that like we're losing job sites regularly because of these cities. And so it could be partially, obviously, that we have more dumpsters on the street and they're seeing us more often. It could be that we may have more higher end customers. It's not just a one-off house clean out. It's like these longer term projects that are booking us through these contractors, and the dumpsters on site more often. And that requires the city inspectors to come out. But it also could be that, one of the guys mentioned on one of my TikToks about the whole lawsuit, he mentioned that somebody mentioned that during COVID, obviously, like all the big companies got way, way, way behind. And a lot of the cities were like, we're not going to enforce this because, these trash companies, Waste Management, Republic, they're so far behind that they need all the help they can get. And so once COVID started dying down, and obviously when things started getting back to more normal a few years down the road, things are kind of, Republic is starting to feel the pinch, not just from my company, of course, but like all these other companies that are starting to kind of come out of the weedworks, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, there's more dumpster companies out there. Yes, there's more trash companies out there. There's more dump trailers. There's more roll-off trailers out there. It's not that whole because you're in the industry, you see it more. No, it's like a lot of people see this industry as a viable industry to get into, and so and roll-off trailers have become a hell of a lot more popular. Like you hardly saw those roll-off trailers back in before COVID. Like maybe you had PJ trailers and maybe you had dump trailers and you had, obviously you had the one company up north, but there weren't that many big roll-off trailers brands out there. And I feel like a lot of that put together, they're starting to feel the pinch more. And yes, they're putting more pressure on the cities to enforce these exclusive franchise agreements more and more. So I got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore. I was losing my mind. We're getting weekly on a weekly basis. We're getting these notifications and these calls, and I was like, I got to do something. And around the same time, that's when the guy in Arkansas, and I forgive me, I don't remember his name, but the guy in Arkansas, he won his case in Arkansas, and it was a little bit different of a case, but it ended up going to the Arkansas Supreme Court, and he had a law firm called Goldwater Institute, and that were backing him. And so I called that guy, and we had a nice long conversation. So we had a nice long talk about what I'm going through. He told me what he went through, the whole lawsuit thing, the process, how long it took, and then I called Goldwater. I called Goldwater. I called Goldwater, and I reached out to them, and I said, "Hey, this is what I'm going through in Texas," and I never got a response back. No response whatsoever. And oh no, I lie. I think they did respond to my email, and we had one email back and forth, but then they kind of ghosted me. And then so I went to ChatGPT. And guys, if you guys aren't on AI, let me tell you, I have spent so much time between ChatGPT is where I have conversations with, and then I go over to Claude, and Claude is where I like build stuff with. If you guys aren't using AI, man, I am. It's changed my entire business. It's changed my entire just how I operate. It's crazy. But anyways, went that ChatGPT, and I have a whole project, a whole folder that's nothing but franchise issues, or the franchise issues that I've been having. And I've been documenting. Every time I have an issue, I'll go in there and be like, got another letter from so and so, got another sticker from Mesquite, got another phone call from this city. And I was documenting everything. So I went in there, and in that same folder, I started a new conversation, and I plugged in the lawsuit from Arkansas, and I said, hey, this company, this law firm, won this case in Arkansas. This is very similar to what I'm going through here. What can I do, right? ChatGPT. If you were my attorney, or if you were my legal representation, what can you do? And it does says, obviously, this is not legal advice. We're not your attorneys, but this is what I would do. And it said that I would reach out to Goldwater if I were you. But it also, and then I said, well, I've reached out to them. I haven't heard a response. And it says something to the effect of, I'm not going to go through the whole conversation, but it said something to the effect of, well, find another constitutional law firm that's like Goldwater. I'm like, all right, give me suggestions in Texas. What law firms are similar to Goldwater? And I believe it gave me about 5. So I just went on to those 5 websites. That's all I did. I went on to those 5 websites, and I reached out to them, and I just basically, I had ChatGPT write me an email for me, kind of outlining, these are the issues I've been having. These are the cities I've been having them with. These are the timelines. This is what the state law, the state statute says. This is what the ordinance says, whatever. And I kind of went through everything. And one of them got back to me, and it was Institute for Justice. And so I had no idea. I honestly had never heard of Institute for Justice. But let me tell you, they are no joke. They are a very big law firm. They've got over 100 attorneys nationwide that are on there. They all had to, in order to take on this case, they all had to approve of it. They all had to approve the case. The case had to be presented by my attorney, which is Daniel. Of course, the attorney's last name is like Wointz Law, like literally ends in law. It's kind of funny. But he had to present the case to all the lawyers in the law firm. And then they had to, I think it was unanimously approve it, or approve it 3/4, or I don't know. I don't know what the number was. They had to approve it, all the attorneys. And then once that was done, then they had to go to the board, because it is a nonprofit. And that's the other big thing about this. People don't know, and I've mentioned it a couple times, but I'm not paying, thank God, I'm not paying a penny out of my pocket to do this, like to be represented by this major law firm. This is all pro bono. We're suing for $1. We're not suing for any damages. I'm not trying to get rich off of this. We're just trying to set a precedent. That's it. Bottom line, we're trying to set a precedent here in Texas. So if we win, or if we lose, it'll likely go to the appeals court. And then if we win or lose that, it more than likely might get pushed all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. And so It's a long process. And they basically told me whether we win or lose, expect to at least go to appeals court, and then after that, you probably want to expect to go to Texas Supreme Court. So it's a long process, but that's how I do it. That's how I did it. I mean, a lot of people have reached out to me. I've had a guy in California reach out to me. How did you do it? Because we're facing that same issue here, and I basically told him exactly that. Like, this is what you need to find. You need to find, one of these type of law firms. I had another guy reach out to me from. I talked to him just yesterday, Pennsylvania. I think it was Pennsylvania, somewhere over there, and told him the same thing. So, um, we'll see. We'll see. I'm excited. Um, but that's a major thing for us. At the end of the day, we met with him. Dylan was in the office with me. We met at my office for about 3 hours. They did a whole interview. I mean, he can tell you the questions that they asked. I felt like I was under interrogation, because what they want to do is they want to make sure that there's not going to be any surprises. They wanted to make sure that I had no skeletons in my closet that would affect the outcome, or that could be caught or found out by the other side that can affect the case altogether. So they really do their homework on me, on the business. They asked a lot of questions. So, anyways, there's that. So in that short of time, we talked about the show, the speaker, Mike Andes. We've talked about how it's been almost a whole daggone year, June 25th of 2025, since I've been on live. So thank you guys for being here. We've talked about so many other things. So now let's open it up. If you guys got any questions for me, let me know. Let's talk about it. We talked about the porta potties. Made the announcement. I got 30 porta potties there in the shop. We just unloaded them, and I've already got them all stickered except for 5 of them. I somehow do not know how to count up to 120, because I wanted all 4 sides to be stickered, and I only bought 100. So I've got 5 that are short that I've got to order. Siding units getting built. The skid is getting built over at Keystone. Looking forward to that. I did a really big interview this morning that I'm super excited to drop, but it's still a mystery as of now, who I interviewed, and but he will be a speaker, a mystery speaker at the expo. And if you guys do know who it is, don't say it, please. All right, let's look at some of these comments. Who do we got? We only got a few more comments in here. Dylan is in here. I've been considering weekly trash. Oh, wow. I was talking about the whole point. I went on the whole tangent about the lawsuits because Elite was talking about weekly trash. The weekly trash here is just so much more regulated than dumpsters. It's crazy. So one step at a time for me here. Talk about a volume game, though. Weekly trash is a very, very, very big volume game. You've got to have a lot of customers in a very tight area. And so, yeah, I don't know. Me personally, I probably not in my area can I get into it. I've thought about it in the rural area where I live, but everything's so far and in between. And then in order to buy a truck that's worth it, spending a lot of money on like a front end loader, because a lot of people out here have like the small 2 yards in the country, and that's kind of expensive. So I'll pass on that for now, but good luck to you if you do that. I know it's and you're just multiplying your customer base, by so many more people. How many weekly trash pickup customers do you need to equal one roll off trash customer? I don't know. Dylan said, "Yo, no heads up, you were going live." No, man, we barely talked at lunch, man. We barely talked, and then we had that back and forth text message where I was getting I got a little screwed up on a job, but I appreciate every job that comes in, so no issues there. But no, we didn't even talk much. Like, we haven't had to. I said so we did have lunch today. We had our monthly luncheon. We got there like 5 minutes late, but by the time I got there, we were stuck all the way on the end of the table, opposite ends, and we just didn't have much time to go over anything. And we had to leave early because we had another 2:00 meeting somewhere else for some more filming. So today was a very, very full day of filming, and it was hot. The second 2:00 one was outside, and I don't do well in that heat, man. It was crazy hot. It was over 100 degrees today, and it definitely felt it. But yeah, my bad, man. I want to see how kind of like, I want you to get the notification and be like surprised that, hey, Josh is going live. What the hell? Like, it's been a year, literally a year since I went live. Dylan, remember, we're peasants. Oh, come on now. Come on now. You gotta, do you guys see these little crowns, these little numbers here? You're number 2. I don't know if you guys see that on your side or just mine. I don't even know what these mean. It's been, oh, I just clicked on something. Hold on. Let me go back. Oh, it's like experience points or something like that. It's been so long since I've been live, and when I was going live, I was using a different software. Now I'm just doing it straight through YouTube. Not peasants, elite. For real, just had lunch with him today too. Yeah, we had lunch. It was a lunch in, but we weren't like sitting at the same table. We were a little farther apart. How many are expecting to be at the event, including vendors? Oh, so that's crazy. Oh, hello, Miss Elper. So I don't know. We were just talking about last year. Last year we had 467. I remember that number to a T because of my son, but 467 paid ticket holders. And then we had a lot of freebies that some freebies. I think I gave some to our local network, which I still got to get them. Our local guys, but half of them didn't show up last year. So I don't think I'm doing, I've talked to Dylan, I don't think I'm going to do that. If they want a ticket, they're gonna have to pay just like everybody else. In my local network, matter of fact, you should pay more if you're in my local network if we're competition. But yeah, 467, and so we didn't have a count on the vendors. You had vendors like, I think Dirty Jobs brought in like 12 people. You had obviously Docket brings in about 10 with him. Box Gang probably had another 10, 15, maybe more people. So I would say it was over 500 for sure. Although they're not all in the same spot at one time, so when they're kind of all spread out over the place, maybe it definitely didn't feel like that or look like that to me sometimes. But this year we're hoping. This year we have a goal, and I hate to even want to say our goal out loud because I don't want to like miss it and then be embarrassed. But we're hoping for a lot more than that. We're hoping for around 750-ish, to a little bit more than that, to a little bit higher. So we've got a heck of a lot more vendors than we did last year. We've got it's turning out to be pretty cool. The one thing that, well, okay, here are my major stress points, and because you guys are friends and family, I will definitely just share it with you guys. But my major stress points for this year are going to be the heat. Although we're going to have covered, and we're going to have the breakout session, which is all air conditioned, but the majority of the show will be outdoors, covered, of course, with the tents and all that stuff. But there will be a lot of open space too that we're going to be walking around. I'm excited about the road course. We're going to be able to test drive the trucks. But the heat, I don't like sweating. I don't like being outside in the hot heat. What else? How I'm going to map everything out because it's a new location. It's a lot wider space. We got way more room that we're going to need. So organizing everything exactly how many trucks and stuff like that. We've got one vendor who's probably going to bring, I think Custom Trucks is going to bring about 10 trucks or more. And some of those trucks are going to be drivable on the track, on the inside track. Yeah, we're just going to have a whole lot more vendors. We're going to have demo. You're going to be able to demo a hook lift truck and be able to demo. When I say demo, like actually operate the hook, pick up a dumpster, a cable truck, and then you're going to be able to drive those trucks on not the big oval, because the big oval is on the outside. There's a huge oval on the outside where you can do the NASCAR experience if you want to get into a NASCAR. But inside the oval is another racetrack. It's a 1.2 mile racetrack that you're going to be able to physically drive the hook lifts, the tandems, the Fords, the Peterbilts. You're going to be able to drive all the different brands. So enough about that. I think our next week, we're going to go live again, and I think I'm going to have a guest because sometimes it's a lot easier to have a guest than to talk. I feel like I'm talking to myself a lot. I need more conversation in the comments. Let's go see what we got here. How many are expecting to be? Oh, we already talked about that, including vendors. Hopefully 750-ish. We have a lot of rural areas. I'm thinking rear loader with a tipper. Yeah, so yeah, for sure. And what landfill? I went to a landfill just the other day. I've never been to that one. It's kind of farther out. I'm sure. Well, it's the one that Chris Dylan. It's the one that Chris goes to. I don't know which one that one is. It was way up there. Maybe no, I wasn't Melissa. I don't know. But I went to a landfill, and they have a lot of the cards. For those of you guys that are local, it's cards is like a local trash company, but they have very small trucks, like small as in like 550 compactors, really low. Uh, I can't imagine they're more than 10 yards, but I would think something like that would do good. But even I was even pricing some of those out, and I think those are like 170 ish, if I'm not mistaken, give or take. It was a very small compactor, one of the smallest ones I've seen. Um, but I thought that was kind of interesting. That would probably do good for out here in the rural areas, I would imagine. But that's new, of course. I'm sure you can find a used one. But I just those kind of things buying used just makes me nervous because you're usually buying somebody else's headache. Dylan said, "I'm still trying to get home. Lunch put me behind. Still slinging cans." Yeah, man. So I saw I saw your one driver when I was at Keystone the other day. What's her name? Leanne. Saw her driving by. I didn't know you. I don't know if you guys she was heading to Keystone or if you guys just really operate that close to Keystone. But yeah, it was kind of funny. Let's see here. Can Dumpster Rentals here. McConkadonk, what's up, man? Handy Can Dumpster Rentals here. What's up? Appreciate you being here, brother. Magnate Pro, what's up? Ah, that's so bad. It's like what do they call it? Like brain rot because every time I see 6'7" now, it's all I think about. It's ridiculous. These kids, man, these days they just I don't know 6'7". Planning on coming down again this year? Yes, sir. Please do. We'll be happy to have you, man. Absolutely, it's going to be a good time. I went from being slammed to renting 1 to 3 a week. I'm getting more interactions than I've ever had. No one's renting. Man, is it the heat? Is it your marketing? Is it your is it you? Is it them? I don't know, man. Who knows? It's always funny. Like we go through waves, and I was just talking to Daniel the other day about that too. No, David. I was talking to David because like we'll go through waves where like all of our small dumpsters will be out, but I'll have like 5 or 6 30s and 40s or more, and so or more sometimes. And then there'll be other times where I went almost like 2 3 months without seeing a 30 and 40 in the yard. Like we've gone probably since like March or April without seeing hardly a 30 or 40. Sometimes we'll bring it back, but the next day it goes out. But I had so many 15s and 20s in the yard. Like what in the world? And it's very rare that like both sides, because we keep them on separate sides of the shop for the most part, where both sides are completely empty and like everything's out. And that's like, okay, finally. And then the next day it'll be like a big wave comes back in. And then we had like the 4th of July and we had a whole bunch come back in. And then right after the 4th of July, we had a whole bunch going out. And it was just crazy. But it's always like that. It's just that big roller coaster. And but I'm not complaining because I've gotten to the point finally where I feel like when things are slowing down, it's like, okay, it's just gonna matter of days, sometimes maybe a week or two. But it always kind of thank God, it always kind of bounces back. Hopefully, it stays that way. Easy Ben says, "Yo, what's up, Dylan? What's up? I've been doing good." Okay, I'm not gonna go to individual conversations. Let's do the expo at night. Oh man. So yeah, we'll see. Well, obviously we have the golf not golf tournament. I don't do golf tournament. We have the big shots the night before Thursday night. Friday night we've got dinner for the VIPs. We're gonna do dinner at as of right now. I'm still waiting on them to get back to me on pricing, but VIPs will have a dinner. No, the winner circle. I don't know. We'll see what the schedule is like. We're gonna have a dinner. I believe the not the VIPs, but the winner circle and up will have a private dinner there at the Texas Motor Speedway, and then yeah, and then Saturday we'll be shutting down after Saturday afternoon. So we're not doing an after party like we did this last year. That after party kind of sucked. Plus, we couldn't drink. So I think a lot of people went somewhere where you can drink. But we will be able to drink this year at the Dumpster Expo. reasonably, reasonably, of course, because they sell alcohol there. I will appreciate the concrete floor, yes, sir. So it felt like we were walking at the beach last year, but it didn't smell like the beach. It didn't smell bad actually for being in the rodeo. There were sometimes you get a whiff, but the dirt, man, they were supposed to pack that thing down, and it was definitely like walking. It literally was walking on sand. And so at the end of the days, my thighs were just burning. And then the second day, it was like I didn't feel that. I didn't see that much dust day one. It didn't seem very dusty, but the second day, you can tell like the dust was in the air and it kind of settled overnight. And so we came back that morning, the second day, and holy crap, like everything was covered in dust. You had the software guys with their laptops that they left behind covered in dust. You had all the truck guys with their trucks covered in dust. It was, it was stupid how dusty it was the next morning. Everybody's trying to wipe things down for day 2 of the show. So yeah, I'll be excited for the concrete as well. Let's see. The people that are meant to be there will be there. Yeah, amen to that. That's true. Even in September is really going to be that hot. Like summer temperature hot. Yeah. It. You have your days. It's Texas weather, so we might get a cold front where we might be one of the first or second cold fronts of the year, but more than likely it'll still be hot. It seems like our winters, and Dylan, I've been here 20 years now. So we moved here in 07, damn near 20 years. And so it seems like our winters since we first moved here have gotten later and later. So it almost feels like winter is starting to really hit like January and February here versus like October, November, December, or even November, December. Like again, you'll get your cold couple days or your cold spells, but then it gets hot again. And then you're cold and then you're hot. And then it doesn't get cold until like January. That's how I see it. I don't know. But let's race the Ram against the Cybertruck, but tug of war style. No. If you race, your Ram's gonna be over, man. There's no question about it. Tug of war, yeah, you might pull my bumper off completely, or my axle. But hit or miss 1 month. Dylan says could be 80 or could be 105. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Even at 80 though, it's still hot, but it's a dry heat. Everybody says here in Texas, which I don't know what the hell that means because it's still hot. Head down, slinging dumpsters. Been busy and loving it. Easy Ben, yes sir. I was completely sold out with waiting with a waiting list for 6 weeks. Then bought like 15. Now we have about 4 available. Let me tell you, Dylan's been on a shopping spree, and yeah, he's been growing his company. So big shout out to him, man. He's been doing really well. So congratulations, bro. Proud of you, man. Really am. I know we don't say that very often because we're competitors and your dumpsters are green and ugly, but I super proud of you, man. These words are getting smaller and smaller as the time goes by. Always a roller coaster ride. I raised my prices in March and had ordered a few more dumpsters and thought I'd be good. July rolls around and says, hold my beer. About sold out and trying to keep up. I placed an order for dumpsters when I was slammed, and then they said they were ready. And then I slowed down and I had like 3 40s in the yard. So I've got 10 40s sitting at Keystone that I need to have delivered. But first I got to find a way to pay for them. So if Dylan or anybody else wants to give me a loan, I'm definitely taking donations so we can pay for that order. Easy Ben says he'll be excited for the concrete as well. Yeah, big shout out. Big shout out again. Just kind of sitting here on the table. But yeah, there's not a day goes by or an event, or not an event, but like something in my business where it's like, you know what? Gotta call somebody, but it is what it is. We got a cat over here laying on the table with me. Guys, it's been real. It's been a minute. We're about to wrap up. But yeah, what else we got? Anything else before we shut down? The local networking group. I've seen the other networking groups kind of picking up in other cities. Love seeing that. That's kind of cool. Maybe next week we'll do a giveaway. Maybe a couple hats giveaway. I don't know, an American AF or Dumpster Expo hat. Or I don't know. what suggestions you guys might have for me. But yeah, I had a couple TikToks kind of take off. I'm waiting for TikTok to send me a check, but you gotta have 10,000 followers on TikTok in order to get to be monetized. So, but I have a yeah, we almost dumped a dumpster in the customer's driveway because and you hear it all the time, man. Guys are on YouTube or on Facebook saying, "Oh, this customer didn't pay me," and you're like, "Well, why did you deliver it? Why'd you deliver it? You should get payment up front." With our contractors, what we do is, and I've got a couple comments on my video so I'll explain it real quick. With our contractors, the way I do contractors is I do haul rate plus tonnage. So we charge a haul rate up front. You call, you book a dumpster with us, you're paying that haul rate. After we pick it up, we're gonna go dump it, and then once we dump it, we're gonna tell you how many tons were in that dumpster, and then you're gonna pay the tonnage at that time. So we had a customer who did just that, and then but he also wanted a swap out. So when we picked up that dumpster, we dropped off another empty one. So if you're keeping track, we had two haul rates that we charged for. As we took that first dumpster to the landfill and we dumped it, his credit card declined on that dump fee. And so we called him, let him know his credit card declined for the dump fee or the tonnage. He said, no problem. We'll call you back. Didn't hear from him. We called him a few days later. He kind of ghosted us. Mind you, he still has our second dumpster on his property. So when it comes time for him to call to pick up his second dumpster, we told him he would have to pay for his first dumpster before we picked up the second one. And he would have to now pay a deposit for the second one moving forward. Long story short, he didn't pay. We really needed that dumpster because we were short. So it was a few days after that. We were charging him daily rate too on top of everything else. Several days after that, when we finally went to go pick it up, I said, enough's enough. If we don't get paid, we're going to dump this dumpster in the driveway. So when I pulled up, he already knew that. When I pulled up, he still hadn't paid. He kept, again, putting us off and off. And I pull up, dumpster's full. He had another dumpster there from Been There, Dump That. And this is a video that has kind of taken off on TikTok today. Just today, I've got last I saw was 60,000 views, which isn't much, but it's a lot for me on TikTok or on any platform. And so I basically was about to just dump it there in the driveway. Two reasons why I didn't dump it in the driveway was because it was in an alley. And I literally, once I picked it up, I would not have been able to open the door and dump it in the driveway. There was no room between the dumpster and a fence. So I kept giving him time. And the second reason was the guy that was working there. I felt so bad for the guy. The guy was working there. He was doing a demo all by himself. Super cool guy. You can tell he was over it. He said he'd already done the entire demo. There's no way in hell that his boss is going to have him clean up all that shit if I was to dump it in the driveway because he's done it all himself. He wasn't getting paid. It's 100 something degrees outside. He just went on, and I felt super bad for the guy. So I kept giving his boss a chance to pay that second dumpster. And that video is gone, kind of took off is what I was trying to say. But long story short, I said, fuck it. I said, forget it. Man, there goes my word. I said, forget it. We're just going to pull it and haul it away. And whatever. I'm not going to do this to this guy. Plus I can't really dump it in the driveway. Driveway was too short and I wouldn't be able to open the door. So as I pulled away, probably 10 minutes down the road, he actually paid the dumpster. So all's good and well. Luckily, I didn't have to dump it in his driveway, although the video probably would be more than double if I'd dumped it in his driveway. It probably would have made for a good video. That's how at least you that when stuff goes bad, that that at the end of the day, it's like videos always get more popular, and people want to see you fail. At the end of the day, it seems like online. So when something happens, you get God forbid, an accident or blown tire or a breakdown or something like that. Those videos always get more views than we're suing our city. Hey, we're doing something big for the industry. Or hey, we got this big speaker coming out. No, those videos always bomb. It's the ones where obviously the shit hits the fan that always take off. So kind of funny. And at least that when something does go bad, at least it'll make it for a good video. That's terrible to think that way. Oh, what else we got? Any more comments? Let's see here. I'll deliver them when I'm done using them. My 40 yards. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, Elite, I appreciate you. Hit that like, subscribe. So we will be here. I will be here. I will make a commitment, unless the World Cup, unless there's a big game next week. Let me hold on. Let me check, guys. If y'all don't know me, I am a really big soccer fan. Where's my calendar at? Calendar. How's next Wednesday looking on my calendar? Let's see, July. Oh, we got Norway versus England. Oh, we're good. That's at 2 p.m. So that's gonna be a good game. If y'all are watching the World Cup, Norway, bro, they're my second favorite team now. The U.S. kind of pissed me off, but Pulisic pissed me off. That dude, he is not our poster boy. That dude should not be our. Anyways, don't get me started. But it is what it is. Let's talk about those custom-made NASCAR cars that people can get made for the event. Oh, that is pretty cool. So, Brimley, Brad Neal with Brimley Site Services. He reached out to me. He said, "Hey, would you mind?" I said, "Heck yeah, I wouldn't mind." Or heck no, I wouldn't mind. Like, do what you do. And so Brad is very big into RC cars, and so he knows a guy who paints them. And what he ended up doing was, I guess he orders the body, he sends it over to the paint guy. The paint guy will paint it however you want it painted. And so obviously I had mine American AF painted. Dylan had his with a Rhino in his company. Keystone got one. We basically did an initial batch to see how they would look before, before I said, let's promote it. Like, I'm not promoting it. It has nothing to do with it. I'm loving to support him. And so, but I wanted to see it first before, I told everybody, hey, $300 or $350, or I don't even remember how much it was. It was three something. But super cool. These RC cars, it's worth it. Let me tell you, if you go buy one, get it customized, even if you don't go to the show, it's still pretty cool to have on your desk at your office or your home. But it's in like a 12 or 14-foot RC car. It goes up to 22 miles an hour. Thing's super fast for being a remote control car. And you can actually soup these things up. New motor, a brushless motor, extra suspension. I mean, you could do all kinds of stuff apparently to these little RC cars to go like 70 miles an hour if you wanted to go that fast. I don't know why on earth you would want to go that fast. But there's a whole community of RC cars, and I did a deep dive for about 10 minutes into the RC world, and I was kind of nerded out, and I just walked. I said, "No, I can't do it. No offense." But it was pretty cool. It was cool. The stuff that they can do to these cars. Anyways, custom made RC cars. I don't know the website, but I think you just go to. Oh my gosh, put me on the spot. Magnet, if you're still here, you can put the. Feel free to put the link in the chat. If not, I'll put one in here later for you guys. If anybody wants to order their custom one. And we might be giving away a couple of them for the show. So, and we're probably going to be figuring out how to race them at the show, which will be kind of cool. We might even set up a little mini racetrack at the show for the race cars, for the RC cars. What better place to do it? Carrie, you see the Rhino car out front? Let's see here. Hold on, I'm trying to turn this fan off. And one of those cards with my custom made logo for you know what. Yes, absolutely. Let's see here. Didn't realize you were back on live. Checking in from Ohio. What's up, Taylor, man? Yeah, we are doing the lives again. Probably between here and the show. We'll try to do the lives. Not trying to make it a full sales event. I'm not trying to even make it a sales show, but I'm just trying to tell you, keep you guys active, updated with what's going on over here. Dumpster Expo for the first time. Looks like it's going to be great. Just got to get them flight tickets from Ohio. Just hop in one of Keystone's trucks, man. When Keystone delivers cans down here from Ohio, or I don't know, they should have semi trucks coming. They have a branch in Ohio, so always ask Keystone for a ride. But I can tell you that I'll tell you what, I think year one, year two, I basically put it out there, and I'll say it again. I have no problems. Like, if somebody pays for a ticket to the show and they feel like it wasn't worth their time, or they didn't enjoy the show whatsoever, I have zero problems giving somebody 100% their money back guaranteed. Like I will put everything. If you feel that if somebody feels that they didn't get enough value um, from this show or from any of these shows, I know that doesn't include the price of the airplane, all that, but I haven't had to give a refund yet. But I have zero issues saying, you know what, guaranteed. If you feel there's no value here, money back. You should be able to. Well, anyways, not a sales pitch. Just putting it out there. Can't wait to see the helper logo on the car. I'm glad you're going. Absolutely. So Kara, well, I'm not gonna put it out there. I'll wait for her to put it out there and announce it if it comes out. But we definitely want to see her out there, and yeah, change your company for the best. Be ready, Tyler. It will change your company from the best as elite. Be ready for the best. Or no, I'm sorry. Be ready to soak up so much information. It's amazing. Yeah, we're gonna have some pretty cool stuff. Working on a broker connect where you're gonna be able to like literally talk to brokers in the room, and they're gonna talk about what they do and how they do it. So many people are against brokers, and there's like this false. I'm sure there's some bad brokers out there. Don't get me wrong. I'm positive there's bad brokers out there, but there's just like this idea, like, brokers, take away from your profits or whatever. I don't mind brokers. A lot of the brokers that I work with have the nationwide contracts with companies that I can't get a contract with anyways because I don't have the nationwide presence. So those are kind of brokers that we're hopefully going to be inviting. Franchise brokers, we've got Redbox committed to come out and talk about their franchise again in the breakout session, not on the stage. AI stuff, Magnate and a couple other AI people are going to be doing having a whole breakout session on AI. It's just a lot of different things that hopefully, and you can attend, or you can spend your time out with the vendors, or you can spend your time at the road course test driving the trucks, or you can spend your time on the racetrack. Anyways, guys, I think I'm done. I've talked for an hour. This is the longest I've talked in a year since June of last year, 2025. Actually, I think it was more, so I said June 25th, right? But it's been more than a year then. So, anyways, stay tuned. We've got more announcements coming out. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. Don't forget, we're probably going to put it out there a little bit early on YouTube, like a link to like preview that we're going to be going live. But we'll see you guys next week. Come with the questions. We'll do some sort of giveaway. Maybe I'll have a guest on the show. We'll see. Appreciate you guys. I'm going to bed. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, smash the notification bell. I'm out. Have a good night.